Okay.
And then if anyone can send China Ravinder a link, that'll be helpful.
Yeah.
Krishna, 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 Krishna,
No.
Krishna, hey.
Krishna, 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 hey.
Krishna, 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 Rakshama.
Chana
Ram
Ravinder.
Ram
No, no.
Ram Ram
Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Then Rama Raghava.
Go and tell Prabhu. No?
Rama Raghava. Now.
Raghav, Ram Raghav, Ram Raghav, Rakshamam.
Alex.
Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahiman.
Okay, go ahead, Jai. After hearing Lord Shiva's prayer.
Finally, oh, sorry. After hearing Lord Shiva's prayer, Lord Krishna replied, "My dear Lord Shiva, I accept your statements and I also accept your desire for Banasura. I know that this Banasura is a son of Pali Maharaj, and as such, I cannot kill him. For that is my promise. I gave a benediction to King Prahlad that the demons who would appear in his family would never be killed by me. Therefore, without killing this Banasura, I have simply cut off his arms to deprive him of his false prestige. The large number of soldiers he was maintaining became a burden on this earth, and have killed them all to minimize the burden. Now he has 4 remaining arms, and he will remain immortal. Unaffected by material pains and pleasures, I know that he is one of the chief devotees of your lordship. So you can now rest assured, and henceforth he need have no fear of anything."
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Prabhu, you asking me, Prabhu?
No, Mataji's
Oh,
next.
Mataji. Oh, yeah, okay.
Sorry, I couldn't catch it either. Sorry about that. Yeah. Hare Krishna. When Banasura was blessed by Lord Krishna in this way, he came before the Lord and bowed down before him, touching his head to the earth. Banasura immediately arranged to have his daughter Usa seated with Aniruddha on a nice chariot, and then he presented them before Lord Krishna. After this, Lord Krishna took charge of Aniruddha and Usa, who had become very opulent materially because of the blessing of Lord Shiva, thus keeping forward a division of Akshuni, yeah, of soldiers. Krishna proceeded toward Dwarka. In the meantime, all the people of Dwarka, having received the news that Lord Krishna was returning with Aniruddha and Usha in great opulence, decorated every corner of the city with flags, festoons, and garlands. All the big roads and crossings were carefully cleansed and sprinkled with sandalwood pulp mixed with water. Everywhere was the fragrance of sandalwood. All the citizens joined with their friends and relatives to welcome Lord Krishna with great pomp and jubilant and tum- tumultuous vibration of conches, drums, and bugles received the Lord. In this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna entered his capital Dwarka.
Okay, that's a lovely description of Krishna returning victorious with his grandson and his new bride to Dwarka with a wonderful with this. They do this a lot. I mean, they still do it in India. They spread water, fragrant water on the road. Sometimes in the garden on the path in different ways. And here in Dwarka, they've sprinkled sandalwood pulp mixed with water and everywhere in the city. So we all know that Chandan this chandan from Malaysia, especially when it's from the center of a tree, when it's from a center of a sandalwood tree. The sandalwood is very, very sweet and very strong, and that if you buy a statue or a carving and it's made of sandalwood from that part of the tree, then it will remain fragrant for 100 years. So this is a very nice description of just how beautiful the reception was. Go ahead, Alex, for the last part.
Hare Krishna. Sukadeva Goswami assured King Parikshit that the narration of the fight between Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna is not at all inauspicious, like ordinary fights. On the contrary, if one remembers it in the morning of the narration of this fight between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva, and takes pleasure in the victory of Lord Krishna, he will never experience defeat anywhere in his struggle in life. Hare Krishna.
That's very nice. That's
Yes.
amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is called a falshruti. That if one remembers in the morning, so we have to remember this in the morning now. Okay, don't remember it at night. Remember it in the morning. You get up, and when you wake up, say Shiv Jwara. What do we say?
Okay.
Shiv Jwara.
Shiv Jwara.
Because the Shiv Jwara and Narayan Jwara are the auspicious weapons of Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna. And just by remembering this this fight and this whole experience,
Yeah.
and the prayers, especially when we remember the Leela, it's especially auspicious to remember various prayers, prarthana, that was spoken by, like for example, when Krishna was to descend, who offered prayers so that Krishna would descend? Who offered the prayers? Who was the first person to offer those prayers? This is a very unusually easy answer. Who was the first person to offer the prayers? Not when Krishna descended, before he descended. In order to attract him to descend to the Earth planet.
Bhumi Devi.
So, yes, what was that?
Bhumi?
Yes, it was the Earth planet, the goddess of the Earth, Bhumi Devi. And she approached Lord Brahma. And she offered prayers to Lord Brahma. Please, the planet is overburdened by the bellicose activities of these big kings with huge armies. And, the planet is being abused in different ways. And please descend to remove these. So then Brahma, what did Brahmaji do? What did Brahma do at that point? Nobody knows. Well, he didn't go down the Costa Coffee, that's for sure. What did Brahma do then? He went to Starbucks and had a cup.
That's what I was thinking, Starbucks, but he can't have gone to Starbucks.
He didn't go to Starbucks. What did he do next? He galvanized the different demigods and approached Lord Vishnu on the planet of Dhruvalok, on the pole star. And they went to the shore of the what? Don't say Brighton. Yeah, he went down Brighton. He went to the shore of the Pionidi, the Milk Ocean.
Yeah.
And there they offered, what prayers did they offer then? Famous prayers, begins with P. The Purusha Shukta. So they offered the Purusha Shukta prayers to Lord Vishnu to please him. And they prayed that Lord Krishna would descend personally. So in this way, they approached Lord Vishnu. It's a mystery in one sense, but of course, Brahmaji will within this universe, he knows that Vishnu, Shirdakshay Vishnu, is residing on this planet of Dhuvalok, and he knows that the only way to petition the Lord is to go there and ask that the Lord descends. So then the Lord mysteriously descends, and when he appeared through the Vishnu Murti. That is why, for people who are not trained or not properly educated in this line of Vaishnav theology, many people consider that Krishna is an avatar of Lord Vishnu, you see, and that Vishnu is supreme, and that Krishna is just an expansion, or is a what they call it, like an incarnation of Vishnu. But those who know the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Brahma Samhita especially, they know that the process of approaching the Lord is to offer Purusha Shukta prayers. And Krishna may have appeared through the Vishnu Murti, but he is still the origin of Vishnu. This is the mystery. Okay, so let's do the last part. Go ahead, Jigna, for the last part, the episode.
This episode of Banasura's fighting with Krishna and later being saved by the grace of Lord Shiva is confirmation of the statement in the Bhagavad Gita that the worshippers of demigods cannot achieve any benediction without its being sanctioned by the Supreme Lord Krishna. Here in this narration, we find that although Banasura was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, when he faced death by Krishna, Lord Shiva was unable to save him. But Lord Shiva appealed to Krishna to save his devotee, and this was sanctioned by the Lord. This is the position of Lord Krishna. The exact words used in this connection in the Bhagavad Gita are Mayaiva Vihitan Hitan. This means that without the sanction of the Supreme Lord, no demigod can award any benediction to his worshipper. This thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 63rd chapter of Krishna. Lord Krishna fights with Banasura.
Very nice. So how many chapters are there in the Krishna book? Who knows straight away how many chapters? Don't go to the end of the book. How many chapters are there in the 10th canto?
90.
90 chapters. 90 chapters. So there's one shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam 1088.8. 1088.8. Yasyaham anugrinami, one of Prabhupada's favorite shlokas. Harishe tad danam shanai tato dhanam tejantyasya svajana dukkha dukkitam. When I especially favor, Yasyaham anugriha, anugrinami means a special favor. When I especially favor, especially I put special mercy, I give a really big thumbs up for someone. When Krishna gives you a massive thumbs up, he takes away all your wealth. Haribo!
Haribol.
He takes away all your wealth. And he gives you a lot of trouble. He makes life very difficult for you. Haribo!
Haribol.
So only Vaishnavas can understand the transcendental mystery of the Lord's special mercy. Whilst for Lord Shiva, when he gives you special mercy, you get loads of money. Haribo!
Haribol.
So therefore, a lot of people will worship Lord Shiva, and they'll avoid worshipping Lord Krishna. but only those who are akinchana gocharam. Akinchana gocharam means who are done with this material world. They are disinterested with material progress. Shuta Shri Bhi, good birth, Janmana, Shuta Shri Bhi. These are prayers of Kunti Devi. Good birth, wealth, beauty, vidyanam, good education, etc. These are wanted by people who are on the path of the Praviti Marg path. They want these things, so they have good established well in this world. They get a good respect from people. Oh, look, oh, here comes such and such. Oh, he's very successful. Oh, look, there's that person over there. He's a failure. He's a big failure. Don't bother with him. He's useless. So the Krishna Bhakta may not be understood by people, you see. And then Krishna gives us Krishna Bhakta an even bigger benediction of that only Krishna can give. Then everyone's, oh, well, he's not so bad after all, actually. But this is how people are. So let's carry on with Ramesh Bhai now with the story of King Nriga. Bolo Bhai.
Once the family member of the Lord Krishna, such as a Samba, Pradyumna, Kura, Bhanu, and Gada, all princes of the Yadu density, went for a long picnic in the forest near Dwarka. In the course of their excursion, all of them became thirsty, and so they tried to find out where water was available in the forest. When they approached a well, they found no water in it, but on the contrary, within the well was a wonderful living entity. It was a large lizard, and all of them were astonished to see such as a wonderful animal. They could understand that the animal was trapped and could not escape by its own effort. So, out of compassion, they tried to take the large lizard out of the well. Unfortunately, they could not get the lizard out, even though they tried to do so in a many ways.
Okay, Chan Aravinda Prabhu.
I don't have access at the moment.
Oh, you don't have access. Okay. Oh, sorry. If
Oh,
someone
actually, I might have now.
Oh, you might have it now.
Yes,
Oh, there he
yeah.
is. Jigna's on the job.
Still with Niga.
Jigna has done it. All right. When the princes returned home, their story was narrated before Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is the friend of all living entities. Therefore, after hearing the appeal from his sons, he personally went to the well and easily got the great lizard out, simply by extending his left arm. Immediately upon being touched by the hand of Lord Krishna, that great lizard gave up its lizard shape and appeared as a beautiful demigod, an inhabitant of the heavenly planets. His complexion glittered like molten gold. Who would like to have a complexion that glitters like molten gold? A golden complexion. Well, I'm sure all the ladies would like to have a golden complexion for a start. That'll put the Vico turmeric business out of business for sure. So he had a beautiful golden complexion and was decorated with fine garments, and he wore costly ornaments around his neck. Okay, do you find that, Prabhu?
How the demigods have obliged to accept the body of a lizard was not a secret to Lord Krishna, but still for other information, the Lord inquired My dear fortunate demigod, now I see that your body is so beautiful and lustrous. Who are you? We can guess that you are one of the best demigods in the heavenly planet. All good fortune to you. I think that you are not meant to be in this situation. It must be due to the result of past activities that you were put into the species of lizard life. Still, I want to hear from you how you were put in this position. If you think that you can disclose this secret, then please tell us your identity.
Okay, Jigna, go ahead. Oh, Jigna's not here. Oh, she is up at top. Go ahead.
Actually, this large lizard was King Nriga, and when questioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he immediately bowed down before the Lord, touching to the ground the helmet on his head, which was as dazzling as the sunshine. In this way, he first offered his respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. He then said, My dear Lord, I am King Nriga, the son of King Ikshvaku. If you have ever taken account of all charitably disposed men, I am sure you must have heard my name. My Lord, you are the supreme witness. You are aware of every bit of work done by the living entities, past, present, and future. Nothing can be hidden from your eternal cognizance. Still, you have ordered me to explain my history, and I shall therefore narrate the full story.
All right, Jai, go ahead.
King Briga proceeded to narrate the history of his degradation caused by Makanda activities. He said that he had been very charitably disposed and had given away so many cows that the total was equal to the number of particles of a dust on the earth, stars in the sky, or drops of water in a rainfall. According to the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies, a man who is charitably disposed is recommended to give cows to the Brahmins. From King Nriga's statement, it appears that he followed this principle earnestly. However, as a result of slight discrepancy, he was forced to take birth as a lizard. Therefore, it is recommended by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita that one who is charitably disposed and desires to derive the benefits of his charity should offer his gifts to please Krishna. To give charity means to perform pious activities by which one may be elevated to the higher planetary systems. But promotion to these heavenly planets is no guarantee that one will never fall down. Rather, the example of King Briga definitely proves that fruitive activities, even if very pious, cannot give us eternal blissful life. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the result of the work, either pious or impious, is sure to bind a man unless the work is discharged as yagya on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, yeah, now Prabhupada here is quoting the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 9. Who can find Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 9? Who can find it quickly? The Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 9. Famous verse. Prabhupada quoted it many times in his lectures. Begins with Yagya, which is a name for Vishnu as well. Yagna Vai Vishnu. Nobody can find the chapter 3, 9?
Chapter 9?
Chapter 3, text 9.
Oh,
I have it. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, here it is.
Okay. Go ahead, Ramesh Bhai. You can read it.
यथा यज्ञथ कर्मणोद्य लोकाद्यम कर्म कर्म बंधनः तदर्थ कर्म कुंतेय मुक्ते सद समाचार.
Charnaravinda Prabhu, translation. Alex Prabhu, translation.
Hare Krishna. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in the material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way he will always remain free from bondage. Hare Krishna.
There we are. And Archana, you can read a little bit about Prabhupada says. Go ahead.
Since one has to work even for the simple maintenance of the body, the prescribed duties for a particular social position and equally are so made that the purpose can be fulfilled. Yagna means Lord Vishnu or sacrificial performance. All sacrificial performance also are meant for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. The Vedas enjoin Yagna why Vishnu. In other words, the same purpose is reserved whether one perform prescribed yagnas or directly serve Lord Vishnu, Krishna. So Krishna consciousness is therefore perform of yagna. It is prescribed in this verse. The Varnashrama Institute also aims at satisfying Lord Vishnu. Varnashram, I'm sorry, I can't.
Varnashrama Charavata Purushena
Purushana Puman Vishnu Aradhya.
Aradhyate Panta.
Aradhyate.
Yeah, Panta is the next word from the Vishnu Purana. Okay, very nice. Go ahead, Alex, a little bit more.
Therefore, one has to work for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Any other work done in this material world will be a cause of bondage. For both good and evil work, they have their reactions, and any reactions binds the performer. Therefore, one has to work in Krishna consciousness to satisfy Krishna or Vishnu, and while performing such activities, one is in a liberated stage. This is the great art of doing work. And in the beginning, this process requires very expert guidance. One should therefore act very diligently under the expert guidance of a devotee of Lord Krishna, or under the direct instructions of Lord Krishna himself, under whom Arjuna had opportunity to work. Nothing should be performed for sense gratification, but everything should be done for the satisfaction of Krishna. This practice will not only save one from the reaction of work, but also gradually elevate one to transcendental loving service of the Lord, which alone can raise one to the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna.
It's a lovely purport. It's a famous verse and a famous purport. Jagnatat karmano nyatra lokomam karma bandanaha tadartan karma konteya mukta sangha samachara. A great verse from Bhagavad Gita. So King Riga is alluding to this point here. Prabhupada's making this point, and King Riga is going to be showing the dangers of working with a fruitive mentality, thinking, well, if I do this, I'm going to get this. If I do this, I'm going to get that. Oh, I'll go to the heavenly planet. I'll benefit like this. I'll benefit like that. So this type of mentality is called karmatmaka. You can write it down if you have a paper. It's called karmatmaka or karmatmika. I can't remember if it's karmatmaka or karmatmika. But karmatmika means that one's mentality is covered, or it is contaminated with the fruitive mentality. That if I do this, I'm going to get that. Whilst the Vaishnava is his mentality is that I don't care for any blessings or benedictions. I'm simply working to satisfy Krishna, and if Krishna wants to send me to hell, he can do that. If he wants me to send me to the heaven, he can do that. If he wants to take me back to Godhead, he can do. If he wants me to stay in this earthly region, whatever Krishna wants, I'm happy with that. This is the mentality of the Vaishnava. Completely different mentalities. Okay, let's go back to the next part now. Then King Riga said that the cow. Excuse me. I've moved on here. Yes. Okay. The next part then. Go ahead, Archana, with the next one.
Sorry, where we are again? How the demigods has been obliged. Is it the
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, how the demigods has been obliged to accept the body of lizard was not a secret. Secret to Lord
It's the
Krishna.
next one. It's the one after that.
Okay. Actually, this large lizard was King Durga, and when questioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he immediately bowed down before the Lord, touching the ground. No, I think
We've done that one,
you read
yeah.
this, yeah. Sorry. King Durga proceeded to narrate the history of degradation caused by his karma kanda activities. He said that he had been very charitably disposed and had given away so many cows that the total was equal to the
Oh, we've
number
done this
of
one. We've done this one. The next
Have
one.
we?
The next one is King Riga said.
Okay, sorry. King Durga said that the cow he had given in charity were not ordinary cows. Each one was very young and had given birth to only one calf. They were full of milk, very peaceful and healthy. All the cows were purchased with money earned legally. Furthermore, their horns were gold plated. Their hooves were bedecked with silver plating, and they were covered with necklace and with silken wrappers embroidered with pearls. He stated that these valuably decorated cows had not been given to any worthless person, but had been distributed to first-class brahmanas, whom he had also decorated with nice garment and gold ornaments. The brahmanas were well qualified, and since none of them were rich, their family members were always in want to the necessities of life. And real brahmanas never hoard money for a luxurious life, like the Kshatriya or the Vaishyas, but always keeps himself poverty stricken, knowing that money diverts the mind to materialistic way of life. To live in this way, the vow of qualified brahmanas, and all these brahmanas were well situated in their exalted vow. They were well learned in Vedic knowledge. They executed the required altruistic and penance in live their lives were liberio, meeting the standard of qualified brahmanas. They were equally friendly to everyone. Above all, they were young and quite fit to act as qualified brahmanas. Beside
Yeah,
the cows, there were
this is
also
nice. Yeah, that's okay. This is nice because now what's happened now? This is a interesting qualification of the brahmanas, and that number one, qualified brahmana who is naturally a devotee of the Lord would be a brahmana, whether they're shudras, vaishyas, or whatever. They'll be very clean, like a brahmana. They'll behave very similar to brahmanas, even if they're not initiated as brahmanas. Prabhupada did say that the ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is designed to create qualified Brahmins and Kshatriyas. Prabhupada did say Kshatriya as well, because the world is full of Vaishyas and Shudras. It's overflowing with Vaishyas and Shudras. We don't need to create Vaishyas and Shudras in Kali, but we do need qualified Brahmins and Kshatriyas as well, who will. A Kshatriya is a warrior. There are plenty of soldiers and martial people, but a real Kshatriya has a special qualification. Who can tell me the special qualification of a true Kshatriya? Or a Rajarshi? Who can tell me? Yes, Charnaravinda Prabhu?
He's honest and brave.
Yeah, but there's something else. What is the qualification of a Kshatriya? I mean, real one. Go on, Smita.
Is he a warrior or a fighter?
The Kshatriyas are naturally inclined to follow the instructions of the Brahmanas. This is the qualification of a real Kshatriya. Okay? The Kshatriyas we have in the world today, they're belligerent and they don't follow the instructions of Brahmanas.
The Sudras.
They're Shudra Kshatriyas, yeah. They're Shudras. Everyone is Shudra in Kali Yuga. So Prabhupada did create ISKCON for this purpose, to create qualified Brahmins and Kshatriyas as well. They're needed in the world. And the qualification of a Brahmana is that he doesn't hoard money. It's not that he's keeping lots of money for, stored away somewhere. The typical Brahmin was the friend of Krishna, Sudama Vipra. He was a qualified Brahmin, and he was very poor, and not making plans, for buying a house here and buying a house there and having this much money, and because when you've got a lot of money, what happens to you when you've got plenty of money? What happens to the mind? Who can tell me?
Stress. Yeah.
What
It's
happens?
causing stress.
Actually, yes, it does create stress because you're worried about the money. You're worried about how to invest it, you don't want to lose it. There's another. But what else happens when you've accrued a lot of money?
You get greedy.
You get greedy for more, but something else happens.
You become comfortable.
You become complacent. You become complacent. You think you're safe. You think now I'm okay. And your dependency on Krishna is decreased. Now, in Bhagavad Gita 1857, Krishna particularly says, I want you to depend on me fully. 1857, Bhagavad Gita. Famous verse. So that's going against Krishna's wishes there. So it's a very nice point that's being made there. So let's carry on with this part now. Go ahead, Alex, bro. Besides the cows.
Sorry. Besides the cows. Sorry, somebody else will have to do.
Yeah, all right then. Ramesh Bhai, besides the cows.
Beside the cow, they were also given land, goat houses, horses, and elephant. Those who were not married were given wives, maidservant, gain, silver, utensils, garment, jewels, household furniture, chariots, act. This charity was nicely performed as a sacrifice according to the Vedic ritual. The king also stated that not only had he bestowed gift upon the Brahmanas, but he had performed other precious activities such as a digging well, planting tree on the roadside, and installing pond along the highway.
Very nice, yeah. These are Brahmins in Dwapara Yuga now. This is not the Kali Yuga situation. Kali Yuga, there's different rules, there's different standards. The Brahmins in the previous Dwapara Yuga, they were quite highly qualified. and of course going to Treachery Yoga, they were more qualified. And no, these people had amazing samskars, and they were given, they could manage wealth, they could deal with all this because they had the samskars. Kali Yuga, Kalo Shudra Sambhava, everyone's born as Shudra. You know, you've got to work hard to develop these qualities of Brahmins and Kshatriyas. Even as proper Vaishya, what is the real business of a Vaishya? Is it just making money, or is it something else? Are they just Banyas, or is there something else going on here? What does Bhagavad Gita say?
Is that to serve Brahmana?
Yes, but what does Krishna say
Do
about
the
Vaishyas
business.
in the Bhagavad Gita? He describes the karma jam of the Vaishyas in the 17th or 18th chapter. He says,
Protecting cows.
yes, Krishi Goraksha Vaniyam Karma Vaishya Sabhava Jam, something like that. So he said Krishi means agriculture, growing nice foods, growing you know, vegetables, planting trees, growing fruits, you know, these things, naturally growing, you know, agriculture, and Krishi Goraksha, protecting cows. But this is the Vaishya. So there's not many good Vaishyas in the world, really, because you know, a lot of Vaishyas, they're on the internet with this Bitcoin and this, that, and the other, all these nonsense things going on, trying to make money in cheating ways. You see, this is all Kali Yuga's business, Kali. So it's interesting. It's the real quality of Brahmins is because they were giving charity. A Brahmin doesn't only accept money; he has to be giving money as well. This is explained in the I think it's the Padma Purana. The 6 activities of a Brahmana, which is what? Who knows that verse? Anyone know the verse? Patan patan yajan yajan dhan patigraha. Let's all say it together. Patan patan
Patan Patan,
yajan yajan
Yajin Yajan,
dhana patigraha.
Bana Patika Gariya.
Yeah. Yajan means performing the yajna. Performing yajna. Yajan, teaching others how to perform yajna. What is the yajna for Kali Yuga?
The Mahamantra.
The Sankirtan yajna is the yajna for Kali Yuga. So the real Brahmins of Kali Yuga, they will train others how to perform Sankirtan. And there's 2 types of Sankirtan. Who can tell me the 2 types of Sankirtan?
Chanting.
Yes,
Chanting?
yes. Nagar Sankirtan. And what's the other type?
Japa?
Brihat Madanga Sankirtan.
Okay.
Who knows what that is? Brihat Madanga. There's a Madanga we use for the Nagar Sankirtan. Then there's what we call the Brihat Madanga. Book distribution. Prabhupada said you can hear a drum in one street or maybe around the corner. But with book, if you give book, the book will be heard in so many places. It will travel to other places. It will be given around the book. So if you give books, so Prabhupada liked that we give out books as much as possible. Whenever we can, we should distribute books. Either we distribute a set of books, a Srimad Bhagavatam set we can distribute to someone. Some lucky person can get the Srimad Bhagavatam set. Or you can give out other books that have been printed like the Nectar of Instruction, the Bhagavad Gita, the Sri Upanishad, and small books by Prabhupada. These books, they are also very, very more pleasing than even the chanting of the name of Krishna in the streets for people to hear. So these are the different types of yajna. Yajan, patan, patan. What does patan? Patan means pat. Patan, patan. Pat is what? Reading, studying. Or yes, studying and teaching. So you study and then you teach it. You hear it and then you repeat it. Patan, patan. Dhana. Dhana means what? Dhan.
Money, wealth.
Sorry?
Money, wealth, money.
Charity. Charity. Dhan. Godhan. Shastra dhan. Etc. We give something.
Danam, sorry, not danam. Yeah, danam, sorry.
Dhanam. We give some money. We give something to others. We give books. We give gifts. Giving something. And patigraha means to accept. But not that the Brahmin is just accepting. Yes, thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Alex. I love that. Oh, thank you, Archana. I love that as well. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, no. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, he has to be giving as well. You see? So this is 6 functions of the Brahmana. Patan patan, yajan yajan, dhan patigraha. Or yajan yajan, patan patan. It's very important to remember that. So we've got now the king continued in spite of all this. Unfortunately, one of the Brahmins' cows that I had given in charity chanced to enter amongst my other cows. I'd given a cow away to a Brahmin, and that cow had come back and mixed with my other cows. Not knowing this, I again gave the same cow in charity to another Brahmin. As the cow was being taken away by this Brahmana, the second Brahmin, its former master, the other Brahmana, claimed it as his own, stating, "This cow was formerly given to me. So how is it that you are taking it away?" Thus there was arguing and fighting between the 2 Brahmins. And they came before me and charged that I had taken back a cow I had previously given in charity. To give something to someone and then to take it back is considered a great sin, especially in dealing with a Brahmana. When both Brahmanas charged the king with the same complaint, he was simply puzzled as to how it had happened. Thereafter, with great humility, the king offered each of them 100,000 cows, 1 lakh each, in exchange for the 1 cow that was causing the fight between them. He prayed to them that he was their servant and that there had been some mistake. Thus, in order to rectify it, he prayed that they be very kind upon him and accept his offer in exchange for the cow. The king fervently appealed to the Brahmanas not to cause his downfall into hell because of this mistake. A Brahman's property is called Brahmasva. What's it called?
Brahmasva.
Brahmasva. Okay? And according to Manu's law, it cannot be acquired even by the government. According to Manu's law. Both Brahmins, however, insisted that the cow was theirs and could not be taken back under any condition, neither of them agreed to exchange it for the 100,000 cows. Thus, disagreeing with the king's proposal, the two Brahmins left the place in anger, thinking that their lawful possession had been usurped. So this is called the what's that word? Providence. The actions of providence. That without his knowing, without his fault, the king actually was without fault here. But in spite of that, a great calamity occurred where he had given a Brahmin a cow, and the cow came back in the herd somehow, and then it was given again to another Brahmin, and none of them would accept the king's proposal to accept 100,000 cows in return. So now the king is feeling, I'm doomed. I've offended these Brahmins simply by providence. By providence. So now we'll find out after this incident. Next week we'll find out what happens to the poor old king. Okay, any questions, any points up to now? Smita?
No, sorry, I was late.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter if you're late or not. Would you prefer that we start later?
I'll privately message you anyway. But
What
no, you
about
keep the time.
Jigna and Ramesh always come a bit late. Would you prefer that we start later now?
It's okay, I think.
It's okay, because when we're here, usually we're starting with only two of us for quite a long time, and then you all come in around about 7:30. That's why I'm just saying maybe it would be better we started a bit later so that. What do you all think? What do you think, Jay?
Let's start at 7:30.
What do you think, Alex?
It's okay, but I'm an hour ahead, so I'm finding it difficult even keeping my eyes open now.
So it
because
suits you better if we start a bit early because it's already 8 o'clock there.
it's because I get up at 3:30. That's why.
Yeah, that's an early start. Yeah. So, Archana, what do you think?
I don't mind any time, but I'm just starting another group for this month for blog.
Oh, what o'clock?
Another class at 8 o'clock, but it's just for 1 month. Yeah.
All right. So we'll stick to it for now. We'll stick to 7 o'clock for the time being, for Alex's sake and for Archana's sake. But in due course, because we got to think of the others coming late as well. And
yeah, I mean it's okay to go for 7:30. I mean it's the same time as Shloka, so it's easy for me to remember and make sure So 7:30 is fine for me.
Yeah.
Archana, Mataji.
I'm just thinking of Archana now. She'll be leaving then at 8 o'clock. We'll only be getting Archana's association for half an hour. I mean, it's a serious breach of the Bhakti yoga system.
Sorry, Prabhuji. I don't think it's for long, but I don't know how long that for.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep it as it is for now, 7 o'clock, and then we'll see how it is in due course. Okay, then.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Thank
See
you.
you soon.
Glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare
Oh, glory to
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada.
Well,
Thank you, Smita.
Hare Prabhupada. Ki Jai.
yeah.
Yay.